This is The Big Fight, the road to 2019, a special series of The Big Fight. About 78 days to go, 80 days to go or so, till the elections are really likely to start. Who knows, you could even be advanced and surprise everyone to a certain extent. So, for 100 days or so, we are going to be only looking at the elections, and every week we're going to take a look at the permutations, the combinations, the good news, the bad news, what's happening every week that may have an impact on the result of the general election. As always, as we do every single week, a lot of special guests coming up on the show today, including Sheila Dikshit, who's just taken over as the Congress's head once again in Delhi. What does that mean for Delhi? We're going to try and find out. We'll be talking to her in just a minute or so. She's standing by. But before I go to her, let's just take a look at our regular features, top political developments, good news, bad news in the government, and the index of alliance unity. So let me get started. First of all, top political developments. Now, Arun Jaitley has just hinted as a possible budget dhamaka. So the budget often is a vote on account, but this time on the 1st of February, we may have something more. Now, what is that something more? Well, we'll wait and see. We keep hearing universal basic income, something for farmers. Let's see. Budget, keep your eye on that. Not that much long to go. Congress is continuing its Rafale attack, saying that the 36 aircraft deal was a windfall for Dassault. The Prime Minister's poll blitz already kicked off. You can expect it to intensify. UP, Odisha, Kerala, and now on a 3-day trip to Gujarat. Sheila Dikshit, as I was just telling you, returns as to head the Delhi Congress. So we'll see what implication that has. Good news for the government. Well, you've had a couple of states already implementing the general category quota. It's become law. It's really moving fast, this particular policy, and may well start to have an impact, therefore, in these elections. Global recognition. Well, Bill Gates lauds the Ayushman Bharat scheme, which is good. Prime Minister's got the Philip Kotler Award. That did lead to a certain amount of controversy. Not everyone was convinced it was the greatest award imaginable, but all right, something to talk about. And then 3 years after the JNU incident, you're having ex-student leader Kanhaiya Kumar, Omar Khalid and others charge-sheeted. Will that have an impact or not have an impact? We'll wait and see. Bad news for the government. Well, there are health problems. Many top BJP leaders have been battling with health problems. Hopefully, they will all be back soon and be fighting fit really soon. And we wish them all a very quick get well soon. So that's one of the things that the government's been concerned about. Possible self-goal in the Northeast. We've been talking about this for a while. The citizenship bill, what impact is that going to have? Well, Meghalaya, Mizoram Chief Minister have met Rajnath Singh and want that bill to be withdrawn. Operation Lotus, also this is another piece of bad news. They were hoping to get that through in Karnataka. Well, for the moment, seems to have failed, but you can never tell. May well be revived in a couple of days' time. But as of now, that's not looking that good. Index of Alliance Unity, RLD, looks as if joining that Mahagathbandhan in Uttar Pradesh could have a lot of significance in the western parts of that state. And today on this show, by the way, we are going to take a very detailed look at UP. All the numbers, all the permutations, all the combinations in UP coming up on this show. Mamata Banerjee really becoming one of the big unifying factors also of the opposition. That big rally coming up, Rahul Gandhi expressing some support for it. And the Aam Aadmi Party indicating that there's not going to be a tie-up with the Congress Party in Delhi and in Punjab. Well, before I come to all my other guests and turn our attention to UP, who better to ask about Delhi and what the possibilities could be than Sheila Dikshit, who's now joining us. Sheila Dikshit, of course, 3-time Chief Minister in Delhi, was here 98 onwards, now back at the helm in Delhi. Sheila Dikshit, thank you so much for joining us. What's it like being back in Delhi and being in charge of the Congress Party here?
Well, it's looking nice. Our workers are all charged up, which is a great message to all of us. And I hope that we will keep on improving the situation. And people thought that Congress was nowhere. They've started saying, I'll get people to come and see me and tell me that Congress is very much there.
All right. Now, the first question, of course, that everyone's trying to discuss is this question of an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party seems to have said now, based on reactions to what you've been saying and others, that there will be no alliance with the Congress Party either in Delhi or in Punjab.
I can tell you one thing, this is something which the Aam Aadmi Party is repeating after we had said it. I had said it, that there's no alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party, and today they have, yesterday or today they've reiterated that from their behalf. So they were merely copied what we had already said.
Do you think that's something which could benefit the BJP? There are some analysts who feel that you and the Aam Aadmi Party have the sort of the same set of voters, and so as a result of that, that vote gets split, the BJP could benefit.
I'd like to correct you and say that for us all voters are important. What do you mean by similar voters? Every vote is precious for us. We would like everybody's vote, and we will reach out for that.
No, of course you'd like to get out, get everyone's vote, and that's a given. But the sort of voters who've been, there used to be Congress voters who in the last election seemed to have gone lock, stock and barrel across to the Aam Aadmi Party, which is why I'm saying the same set of voters. Now, of course, you will presumably hope that they will come back from the Aam Aadmi Party to the Congress, but if that vote, that group of voters gets divided, could that benefit the BJP? I think that's what I'm trying to ask.
Now, why is it worrying you? If they went away from us, there must have been a reason. And there will be a reason that they come back to us. I can't predict just now, and neither can anybody else, what the voter is going to do when the election does take place. So let us see. We are trying our best. We're meeting many people. We've had a huge meeting in our, house, and it's been wonderful. So let's see. We hope for the best, and we will continue to try and win all the voters that we have.
All right, fine. Now, some of the questions that are going to be arising on the campaign trail, and as long-suffering voters in Delhi, perhaps today is the right day to be asking you this question, because it's been another really, really ghastly day. This city has air that is not safe to breathe. No one should be breathing air which is as toxic, as polluted as it is. So as the person who's now leading one of the formidable parties in Delhi, is this going to be a priority? Can the voters in Delhi expect their politicians to try and clean up the air, if nothing else?
No, it's very bad. The pollution here is unprecedented, and we've said it. In fact, we spoke about it also to many people, and including those in the government and officers also. But, they don't seem to be able to react to it. They don't find it important enough. Why? I do not know. But it is continuing, and it's all over Delhi. You can go to Chanakyapuri and you can come to Nizamuddin. The atmosphere is as bad as it can be, and there are many poor people who don't even have a house over their heads, so they are sleeping out in the open and getting more and more pollution.
All right, you're saying it's not been a priority enough. So can we on this program get a categorical commitment from you at least that it is going to be a priority, that you and hopefully other political parties will make it a priority area to clean up the air pollution, to clean up the toxins, so that the citizens can actually breathe? Breathing is a fundamental human right.
Oh, certainly. It always was. All the years that the Congress was in government, you didn't have this kind of pollution. And whenever there was pollution, we took action. But here it doesn't seem to, nobody seems to be worried about it. Nobody seems to have taken any action. Certainly will be a priority area for those of us who come into power.
All right, let's now turn to some of the other possible issues in Delhi. Is it going to be big national issues, the alliances that are happening, Modi versus Rahul Gandhi, more local issues? We just saw when you were taking over also, there was that there was an outrage in certain quarters about the fact that Jagdish Tytler was seated so prominently.
No, you see, let's not talk about alliances with anybody just now, because we are all going it alone. We are three major parties here, the BJP, the Aam Aadmi and the Congress. And the Congress was somewhere on a bit of a back foot, but it's come back forward now, and we will continue to reach out to the people to say what the government of the Congress was and what the current government is all about. I'm sure people know all about it, they feel it, and they're aware of it.
Yeah, and I was asking specifically about Jagdish Tytler also, because as I said, there were a lot of people who were very concerned about the fact that he's sitting there in the front row. There were sections of people who thought that perhaps that was an insensitive step on the part of the Congress party. There was a lot of outrage that followed that.
Oh, no, 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 that's no controversy at all. Has he been charged about anything? Has he gone to jail? Has anything happened to him? He came like any other congressman and came here. He hasn't left the Congress. He's been not chucked out of the Congress. So why is everybody making such an issue out of it? I just don't understand. Probably I feel that it's because they had nothing else to, negative to write about that meeting. So they picked this up as something which was very important.
All right, I'm just going to shift focus, and later in the program we're going to be talking at great length about Uttar Pradesh, and you of course have been in charge of Uttar Pradesh till not that long back. So what is your sense of UP, the fact that the Congress was not there, there's this SP-BSP alliance, Congress not part of it. How do you see the permutations and combinations in UP playing out?
No, UP is, I must tell you, I don't know very much about it because I've been too busy here. But whether an alliance is on the table, I do not know. If there is an alliance which will be required, that is a decision which the High Command, which is Rahul Gandhi and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and others who will take that decision. I am not in a position to tell you whether such a decision should be taken or should not be taken.
Right, then let me end by asking you one last question on Delhi itself, and perhaps get you to put on your predicting hat. I'm sure you'd like to win all seats, but let's remember last time BJP swept Delhi, 7 seats. I'm talking about the Lok Sabha out here. 7 out of 7 seats went to the BJP. What would you be realistically expecting this time around from the point of view of the Congress party in Delhi?
I wouldn't like to play about with numbers, but I can tell you that we will do very well, and you would be surprised at it.
Okay, doing really well, and you will be surprised by it. Sheila Dikshit, thank you so much for talking to us. Always a pleasure to have you. And on behalf of the voters and the residents of Delhi, I'm so glad. We should really do this with every single politician who ever speaks in cities like Delhi or other parts of northern India, which are facing this air crisis. Get a commitment out of them to say they will do something to clean up the air. Well, at least some commitment there coming from Sheila Dikshit. Right, time to turn our attention now to Uttar Pradesh and also to welcome the other guests. Shivam Vij, great to have you with us, who a little earlier in the week came out with some very detailed analysis on a number of how the SP-BSP alliance may possibly work. So it'd be great to take you through some of those numbers in detail. Juhi Singh, I can see joining us from the Samajwadi Party, who may also want to comment on that. IP Singh joining us, leader of the BJP. Good to have you with us. Mohammad Khan, with us, of course, from the Congress party as well. And a couple of minutes from now, we're going to be joined by Sudhinder Bhadoria also. And we will try and get Mr. IP Singh some reinforcement with so many people from the opposition. We'll try and get him some reinforcement from the BJP. Shaina is also going to be joining us in a short while. Right, before I come to all of you, allow me to just spend just a couple of minutes with the numbers. Let's just take a look once again to set the stage. What is likely to happen? So you've seen some of these numbers, obviously. We've taken 2014 and said if 2014 voting was to be repeated, SP-BSP alliance, Congress fighting separately, what is likely to happen? And here's the answer. This is what those numbers are. BJP, remember the BJP and the Apna Dal, between them had got 73 seats in 2014. With this alliance, that 73 seems to drop down to 37. Congress gets 2, which is Rai Bareli and Amethi. SP-BSP pick up 41. Others don't get anything. That's what happens when you're taking a look at the 2014 election. Now, there are some who would say that 2014 is not really what you should be looking at. Let's try and project instead from the 2017 elections and see what specifically happens, on that ground. And here really is the way that particular number would be happening. If you're looking at it from the basis of that and projecting on the basis of 2017, then the BJP is ending up at something like 33. The Congress will only get 1. SP-BSP are up to 46. This is the same pattern is repeated as happened in 2017. And to get some sort of a validation of this, let's go back a little bit. Supposing the Samajwadi Party, Bahujan Samaj Party alliance had been in place during the assembly election in 2017, what would have happened then? Would it have been something like that? Well, let's just look at those numbers. 2017, this is what actually happened. The BJP got 325 and the others were more or less wiped out. But SP plus BSP would have been 237 in 2017. They would have formed the government out here. BJP would have been a fairly distant second, and the Congress Party would have been wiped out. Now, that is something which, of course, the Congress Party is going to keep in mind, that wipeout that is here all across, which is the reason why presumably it's been left out. A couple of other factors and details and data that I just want to throw at you before I get all the guests in. Let's just take a look at the rural-urban divide, because there are people who are saying this alliance, SP, BSP, all right, it's great, it'll have an impact in the rural seats, but it's not going to have a major impact in the urban seats. Let's just remind ourselves, this is what is really at stake, and this is why that problem occurs for them. Because in the rural seats, the BJP got 61 in 2014 and it got 42% of the vote. So SP plus BSP, very good chance of really getting a lot of seats out here when it comes to the rural seats. But in the urban areas, the BJP was more than 50%. It swept all the seats out here, 12 of them. And this is a place where the Congress does have a certain presence, 12% in 2014. Maybe these are the seats that potentially the alliance could have got, but it will be left out because the Congress is not there. And to try and illustrate this point a little further, and this is, I promise, the last set of data I'm going to give you before I go to the guests, let's just take a look at some of the seats where the Congress Party could potentially play spoilsport. These were the seats where the Congress actually came second. Saharanpur, Ghaziabad, Lucknow, Kanpur, Barabanki, Kushinagar and Mathura. Most of them, as I was just saying, urban seats. So as a result of that, is the absence of the Congress and the Mahagathbandhan then going to have an impact in urban Uttar Pradesh more than in other parts? All right, there are the data I'm going to come and bring out too, but I'm going to give you something to think about for a couple of minutes and drag everyone in. Mr. Sudhinder Bhadoria is with us as well. Mr. Bhadoria, why don't I start by throwing it to you and Juhi before I get Mohammad Khan into it. The fact that, I mean, you had some more time to now do all the numbers since the alliance came in, and there is a certain theory that the last word on the alliances has not yet been spoken. But you saw the data that we were putting out, especially in urban parts of Uttar Pradesh. Is the absence of the Congress Party going to hurt you?
Well, let me say this, that the alliances have been formed, and seeing from what you are giving in numbers, but I'll go even back for last 20 years, and if you see the vote percentage of the Samajwadi Party and the BSP together swings from 20% to 30%. And this has been ever since there for quite many elections. Now in 2009, 2007, 2004 and up till 2019, and 2019 will be an absolutely new story. With this 20 to 30% each side, if we take the mean vote as 25% and RLD in it, I think this will have a huge swing. And as far as the urban-rural divide, there is no dichotomy like this. Of course, there are few constituencies where this is there, but if we see the last 6 months where by-elections were held in Gorakhpur, in Phulpur, in Kairana and Nurpur, these are in Eastern UP, urban seats also, rural seats also, the kind of convincing victory that we have had and decimation of the BJP in these all areas and the defeat also of the Congress Party in Gorakhpur and Phulpur, it is going to be an upswing for this alliance, and I will tell you that this will be all the way this alliance which will be victorious, and it is going to be there in the next 4 months.
Okay, Shaina NC with us as well. So Shaina, I'm going to get you on some of the national questions, but I just want to look at some of the numbers in Uttar Pradesh, and we do have two leaders from the BJP on this particular panel, just to try and match the alliance and to have a roughly equal split of numbers. Mr. IP Singh, let me just get you in on the data that I was just showing. You're very well versed, of course, with the actual numbers in Uttar Pradesh. When the BJP is looking at the aftermath of this alliance, is the BJP going to say, But look, let's try and lock in the urban centers where potentially that 12% that the Congress is not going to be contributing to the alliance gives us an opportunity. There are not that many urban seats in UP, I have to add. It's about 12 or 13, not that many. But at least those will be the first areas that you will target and try and lock in.
बिग सरप्राइज्ड शीला दीक्षित के बारे में जिस तरह से आपने एलोबरेट किया लास्ट 15 to 20 मिनट्स, इस एज में जिस तरह से शीला दीक्षित को लेकर आप मेन स्ट्रीम में कांग्रेस आई है, और सिंस 2007 भदौरिया जी से बस एक बात पूछना चाहता हूं कि 2007 से लेकर 2019 के बीच आप एक भी सीट नहीं जीते हैं। आप शून्य पर हैं, 0 पर आउट हुए हैं पिछले लोकसभा इलेक्शन में, और आज आप कहते हैं जिस समाजवादी पार्टी का आप नाम नहीं लेना चाहते थे, और एक नारा बड़ा पॉपुलर था उत्तर प्रदेश में, चढ़ गुंडन की छाती पर मुहर लगेगी हाथी पर। आज जब भदौरिया जी को मैं सुनता हूं किसी भी चैनल पर, मेरे साथ अभी पिछली डिबेट में बड़े इरिटेट हो गए जब इस तरह के लॉजिकल क्वेश्चन मैंने इनसे रेज किया, तो सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता बेहतर तौर से जानती है कि ये 1993 की अलायंस एसपी बीएसपी की नहीं है। ऑलरेडी दे हैव टेस्टेड इन 2007 and 12। तो सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता जिस तरह से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने पूरे देश में काम किया है, गरीबों को लाखों की तादाद में आवास दिया है, गैस कनेक्शंस दिए गए हैं, शौचालय की संख्या 7 करोड़ से ज्यादा है, तो सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि आज आयुष्मान जो भारत योजना है, करोड़ों लोग उससे लाभान्वित होते हैं जिनके घरों में पैसे नहीं थे, वो इलाज करा सकते हैं। तो सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि एक तरफ माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का चेहरा है, दूसरी तरफ जो ये थर्ड फ्रंट है या यूपीए, ये अभी तक ये नहीं डिसाइड कर पाया कि इसका चेहरा मायावती होंगी, ममता होंगी, या राहुल होंगे, या श्री अखिलेश यादव होंगे। तो
मैं गणित की तरह 2-4 मिनट अगर हम लोग गणित की बात करें, 2-4 मिनट अगर गणित की बात करें, फिर जो इश्यूज होंगे उन पे भी विचार करेंगे। कौन कौन से इश्यूज आ सकते हैं, लीडरशिप का सवाल है, राम मंदिर का सवाल है, उन पे अभी हम लोग ध्यान देते हैं। But Juhi ji, I just want to come back to the data a little bit, just get your take on some of the data that we were seeing on the arithmetic of the numbers, and then I want to come back to all of these issues that we were just discussing.
Vikram, you've quoted 2014, 2017, and the BSP and the Samajwadi Party separately have more or less managed to retain their vote share. We might not have been get it translated into wins. But when you go back to 2012, where we were fighting separately, then the Samajwadi Party could convert it into wins even in the urban areas. The rural areas, of course, we went Lucknow, Barabanki, we had Kanpur, Allahabad, we had our MLAs there, and most of these places the BSP also retained its number of votes, which is not very different from what I have studied from 2012 to 2017. So together we formed an alliance on a shared viewpoint, a pre-poll alliance, and successfully implemented it into pre-poll wins when we look at the by-elections. So I think it's going to be a strong alliance, and we can actually, it's not an urban-rural divide. I think we'll do very well in both centers in UP. Yes, Vikram.
All right, Joy. Shaina, if I could just get you in on that point. Everyone is wondering whether there are going to be any big new surprises, sort of a surgical strike on the opposition, which the Prime Minister is going to consider before the the Model Code of Conduct actually kicks in. Budget obviously is there. We've heard Mr. Jaitley and others hinting about the fact that there could be, it may be not a simple vote on account. And we are also seeing the RSS stepping up pressure on the question of the Ram Mandir. So confronted by this alliance and the logic of numbers that we've just been showing you in UP, what is the BJP going to try and do something to shake up those numbers with some big bang announcement?
Firstly, Vikram, let me please say that I'm absolutely appalled at your question here today, that the perfect alliance for UP, as if to suggest that this is an alliance at all. This is no commonality in ideology. The BSP and the SP have fought each other for generations, and suddenly they decide to become strange bedfellows. Only shows you the desperation and lust for power that they are both subject to, and both in as a common agenda. If you look at the BSP that had 0 MPs last time, or the Samajwadi Party that just about managed 5 within the family, it shows you that anything from here on is going to be an up for them. But that does not for 1 minute suggest that Prime Minister Modi's popularity in a national election where the people of Uttar Pradesh are voting for a Prime Minister is going to be compromised. That is point number 1. Second, the political will that is missing clearly in a state that was part of lawlessness, whether it was during the Samajwadi Party rule or the BSP rule, is known to one and all. So I think 2 fundamental points. What are the people, and especially the younger generation, voting for? They are voting for somebody who has the political will to deliver, somebody who's going to give a stable government and not play into all this arithmetic game on caste, creed, culture. And please do not forget that the assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh show us that people voted not on Jat Paat Dharm. People voted, Dalits and Muslims alike voted for BJP, and that's why we had phenomenal margins of almost 1 lakh votes in terms of victory in each of the assembly segments. So I just want to say all this math and statistics that you are showcasing is obviously an agenda of a few disheartened souls who just cannot stomach the charisma of Prime Minister Modi.
Hang on. Before you get into agendas of disheartened or other souls, Juhi and Mohammed Khan are both itching to jump in, but actually you the line that you were questioning whether this SP and the BSP is a perfect alliance. Let me go to the person who actually coined that particular line, Shivam Wij, who's right with us here in the studio, and he had a particular theory as to why he said it's a good alliance. And Shivam, you want to take us through it? I'm going to put up some of the graphics that you had in your article. Your thesis seems to be that they complement each other very well in a large number of the different regions of UP. Would you like to expand on that, and then I'll get everyone to dissect what you have to say?
Sure, but before that, let me say the BJP spokespersons are both saying that, you know, brand Modi is going to be a factor, and if there's going to be another Modi wave like 2014, then the BJP still might do very well. It may not win 71 seats, but it will still not be sort of wiped out in the way the SPBSP.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers we are projecting are based on a Modi wave, it should be said. But anyway, now we want to just go to your theory on the numbers as to why you said, why it is your theory that it's a good alliance.
Well, you see, in West UP, SP is almost absent. Then in the Alu belt of the Yadav areas, BSP is almost absent. In Awadh, it's mostly SP. In Eastern UP, it's mostly BSP. The strongholds of both these parties across UP complement each other. There are very few seats, but they actually fight with each other. They fight with either the Congress or the BJP in different seats. Therefore, it's been easy for the BSP and the SP to come together and have this alliance without too much bickering over which seat you will take, which seat I'll take. Both parties got 30-35 seats. They were either number 1 or 2 in 2014, which is why the arithmetic is also easy for them. 38 each they've decided. Then the few seats where they are fighting with each other, where it's going to be difficult to decide whether BSP guy will contest or the SP guy will contest, they've come up with a formula, your party, my candidate. They did this with the Nishad party in Gorakhpur, they did this with the RLD in Kairana, and Akhilesh Yadav has said today in an interview that this formula is going to be used with the RLD to combat the RLD, and this formula is also going to be used between the BSP and the SP, potentially who knows with the Congress. Thirdly, this is a great alliance because, you know, it's absolutely correct. The BJP spokesperson is absolutely right in saying that SP and BSP are inimical to each other. They've been fighting with each other. They've been calling each other names for years. But what has made this alliance is enemies, my friend. The demand for this alliance has come from the ground because Dalits and Yadavs and Muslims all feel cornered and alienated by the BJP. They feel they don't have the access to power because the BJP is winning these sweeping victories in 14 and 17. There are increasing complaints about Thakurwad, the caste domination of Thakurs, because the UP CM is a Thakur. They've been, the BJP this time has double anti-incumbency in UP. I think some of those things are cementing this alliance.
Don't blame like that. No.
Okay, Mr. I.P. Singh, respond to what he was saying about individual areas the alliance might well work this time around, because there's not that, the possibility of conflict between the cadres as Shivam's theory, and we're putting it up on the map out there, there may not be that much clash in a large number of regions. So they might actually, the alliance might work on the ground is what I think Shivam is saying.
बीजेपी जात, पंथ, मजहब और भाषा के आधार पर राजनीति नहीं करती है। चाहे बिहार में आरजेडी हो या उत्तर प्रदेश में समाजवादी पार्टी, बहुजन समाजवादी पार्टी, इवन कांग्रेस, ये कास्ट, क्रीड और रिलीजन पर ये लोग पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं। यही कारण था कि 2014 में देश की जनता ने इन्हें नकार दिया था, और उत्तर प्रदेश में जब 2014 में क्लियर मैंडेट मोर देन 90% जब बीजेपी को मिला, तो फिर विपक्ष ने यही कहा, अपोजिशन ने, कि 2017 में मैंडेट बीजेपी को नहीं मिल सकता है, और बीजेपी ने इतिहास बनाया। 403 में 325 सीटें जीतकर हमने ऐतिहासिक रूप से 50 साल के रिकॉर्ड को तोड़ा है। और सबसे अहम बात, कांग्रेस जो दावा करती है, राहुल गांधी जो दावा करते हैं, 403 सीटों में कांग्रेस जस्ट 4 सीटों पर सिमट गई थी।
सर, पर सवाल अब ये है,
पार्टी
जो इतिहास में हुआ,
स्ट्रक्चरल पार्टी,
जो इतिहास में
समाजवादी पार्टी,
जो इतिहास में हुआ, हम सब जानते हैं। सवाल ये है कि अगले,
वो भी बहुजन समाजवादी पार्टी 15 सीटों पर।
Can I make a brief intervention?
Yeah, Mr. Bhadoria. Mohammed Khan has not had a chance to speak at all, so let me just come to him, then I'm coming to you, Mr. Bhadoria. Mr. Khan.
सबसे पहले तो मैं आईपी सिंह साहब का जवाब देना चाहता हूँ। इतिहास की बात मत कीजिए, वर्तमान की बात कीजिए, जो आज हालात हैं उनके बारे में। अगर हमें एक सीख मिली है अपने 2017 के गठबंधन से, वो ये है कि राजनीति गणित नहीं होती।
वर्तमान भी हमारे साथ है।
I'll tell you this. No, आईपी सिंह साहब सुन लीजिए मेरी बात, मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, मेरे को हस्ताक्षेप करके जवाब बोल रहे थे। So I'll say this. It is not purely about mathematics. If it was, then the result in 2017 would have been vastly different. I think that the Gathbandhan, and we wish them luck, and they are our friends at the end of the day, we believe that the arithmetic that they're relying on...
Are you going to just wish them luck, or are you going to help them out in seats where you don't have a chance of winning?
I think wherever the chips may fall, Vikramji, at the end of the day, we will all stand on the same side of the fence. And I think my friends in the SP and BSP will agree with that, as they are telling their voters. But secondly...
Wait. You want to elaborate on that? This is really interesting.
No, but you've come to me after so long. Let me
which way the chips are going to fall? So you mean to say it is possible? Look, there are 9 seats. You stood number 2nd.
Yeah.
There are large number of seats you don't have a chance of winning.
Let me
Will you help out your friends? They're sitting out here. They're here. They haven't included you in the alliance. Will you help them out?
See, this is a fundamental mistake that everyone is making in their assessment. You're taking these 3 examples, Gorakhpur, Phulpur and Kairana, and you're extrapolating on the basis of that data across these 80 seats. But let me tell you something. Underestimate the Congress at your own peril, because if there's anything we've learned from these last 3 elections, this is not the Congress of 2014. This is the Congress of Rahul Gandhi. It is a resurgent force. Let me put another data piece to all the data that you've collated here. Do you know that almost 1/3 of the voters who will be coming in UP this time will be young first-time voters, 18-year-olds? Do you know what they will look for in their leaders? Will they be bound by the same caste considerations or the religious considerations? I want to say one more thing. The Congress party, I promise you this, the day this announcement was made, and while we wish them luck and we believe there can be no compulsion in coalitions, I can tell you this. There was a revitalization and a new energy that ran through our entire cadre base in UP. I'll conclude by saying this. I'll conclude by saying one thing to Shaina ji, who raised the issue of conflicting ideologies, and I must say, madam, then what were you thinking with your PDP alliance for the last 3 years? So you're the last people to be allowed to lecture on this. And the second thing I'll say is this. कांग्रेस का जो इतिहास है, कांग्रेस की जो विरासत है, और कांग्रेस के प्रति जो लोगों के दिल में प्रेम है उत्तर प्रदेश में, उसे आप नजरअंदाज मत करिए। हमारी सकारात्मक सोच को हमारी कमजोरी मत समझिएगा। ये गलती भाजपा कर चुकी है, मैं अपने गठबंधन के भाई बहनों से कहूंगा वो ना करें।
All right. अभी आपके गठबंधन के भाई बहन नहीं है. At this point, you're not in an alliance with any of them. I should point out to you.
लोकतंत्र की खूबसूरती ही है कि हम सब साथ हैं.
But it could change. Shaina, I'm just about to come to you on the RSS and the question around the Ram Mandir in a couple of minutes. But can I just get Juhi and Juhi Singh and Mr. Bhadoria to respond to what Mohammed Khan said? Mr. Bhadoria, there's also a theory which is doing the round, and let me just put it to you directly. Yes, you've taken a certain stance in UP. It could also be part of bargaining tactics. You are hoping to get something from the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh, perhaps in, who knows, Punjab, Rajasthan, maybe even Chhattisgarh. And it's a bargaining tactic which you will use to eventually, then you might open up, even if it's their candidate, you may say, okay, in some of the seats where the Congress is strong, we'll allow them to come in.
Pista.
Mr. Bhadoria?
Well, let me say, as of now, we are going ahead with this kind of alliance which is already there, and in this we are contesting 78 seats. Now 2 seats have been left out for the Congress party. We do not want that they, if we can declare candidates over there, then it will be difficult for the entire people of these 2 areas to differentiate and to vote for which alliance or these people, and then these people will have to spend more time over here, both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, and not be there in the campaign nationally. We do not want to restrict them to Raebareli and Amethi as Mayawati ji had. Having said that, I would also like to respond to the BJP. BJP, which is talking of principles, look at those people who formed a government with Mufti Muhammad Saeed, who said that the elections in Kashmir were held because they were allowed and with the help of the terrorists, and they made him the chief minister. Even the other day, Mehbooba Mufti herself used a similar language. So you keep those people in power and then you talk principles, and it is really laughable. What about Mr. Nitish Kumar, whom you said had a DNA which you questioned, and then you also questioned how Nitish Kumar and Lalu can come together, though they did come together and they trounced you. So therefore, don't talk of principles. We all know how principled politics you pursue, and eventually I would say this alliance in UP, if we see even 2009, where Congress also sometimes says that we won as so many seats.
Right.
In 2009 also, Samajwadi Party got about 25% and we got about 27%. Put that vote together, we were well beyond 50%. If we had contested then it would have been very difficult for any party to open an account. And it is here in this context, I will say, this alliance of the Samajwadi Party and the BSP is an organic alliance. It's an organic unity of the peasants, the farmers, the working class, the poor, Dalit, and the minorities, which is about overwhelmingly 90% of the UP's population.
कमाल है
चढ़गुंडन की छाती पर
मुहर लगेगी हाथी पर.
your channel in May, and you will have me over there and I'll prove it.
Please, you repeat this
Okay,
sentence. Please. You repeat.
Singh, before I come to Juhi, I just want to get Shaina in for a minute. Shaina, you heard what Mr. Bhadoria say, that you've had plenty of unprincipled alliances also. And talking about possible trouble with friends and family, in Maharashtra, it's not very clear what the Shiv Sena is going to do. And even the RSS now seems to be, which is obviously going to be a well-wisher and a supporter of the BJP, seems to be putting a certain amount of pressure on the Modi government on the entire question of the Ram Mandir. So I started by asking you that a short while back. Is there going to be any trouble and dissension even within your ranks on that issue?
Absolutely not. I think that the leaders of Uttar Pradesh, irrespective of whether they're from the Samajwadi Party or the BSP or the Congress, should understand that today the BJP is the single largest party in the world. We have 11 crore members in terms of a registered cadre, and if you're going to suggest that you can continue to win elections on the basis of caste, creed, culture, gone are those days. Mr. Mohammad Khan very rightly said that, you know, there are a lot of young voters this time, 1/3 of the voters. What do they want? They want aspirational India which is non-corrupt. They want strong leadership which is delivered in terms of political will, which is Prime Minister Modi, and they want progressive governance in terms of a vision plan which is for the people. And if you are going to undermine the work done through Jan Dhan Yojana, Mudra Banking, Ujjwala, pension schemes, insurance schemes, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, or for that matter, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, I think that you will be foolhardy to believe that it is arithmetic that makes you win.
I'm noticing
People
you're
in India
refusing to say a word on the Ram Mandir,
very
which is somewhat
intelligent
unusual for a
in terms of their
BJP
voting
leader.
pattern.
Just
And
one
if I can speak on the Ram Mandir now, yes. You know, Vikram, every debate you question the intent of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which I think is very unfortunate, because this is a
I'm not
nationalistic
questioning anything.
body
I'm just saying this is what the
which
RSS
wants
said
the
today.
Ram Mandir not as a political agenda, but that as an emotive issue, and the kind of people in this country from different caste, creed, communities also that are supportive of the Ram Mandir. What have we said? That the matter is sub judice, it is in court, but we would like a consensus. The evidence that is presented based on historical facts that the excavation report suggests there was a temple and it should be built at the earliest. If you're going to believe that this is a political issue, I think it would be very unfortunate. The whether it's Asara Sangchalakji Mohanji Bhagwat or Sah Karwaha Bhayaji Joshi, both have said that there must be a consensus and a temple built at the earliest, which is the emotion of crores of Indians, not just the RSS or the BJP. So I don't think that you would want to make this into some kind of political gimmickry. It is a matter of emotion and belief.
All right, Mohammad Khan.
Shaina ji and IP Singh Saab, I just want to say one thing to the two of you. The thing that runs in common with both your sentiments expressed is that भाजपा धर्म जाति की राजनीति नहीं करती. अरे मैडम और साहब, आप लोगों ने तो किताब लिखी है धर्म और जाति की राजनीति पे. अजय सिंह बिष्ट को क्या क्वालिफिकेशंस की वजह से लाए थे? Because of his stellar record in administration. So please, no one is buying this after 4.5 years. And those young voters who you are talking about, they look at your 2014 manifesto and they compare it with what you achieved.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
बहुजन समाजवादी पार्टी.
Can I get Juhi Singh in now?
कास्ट एंड क्रीड.
Okay, Juhi Singh.
ये जाति पंथ मजहब और आधार के
Okay, Juhi Singh.
पर ये राजनीति करते हैं. इनको वैल्यूएट करिए. देखिए.
All right, Juhi Singh. Juhi Singh.
Yeah, Vikram, the first time voter is not going to vote on basis of caste and creed and not going to vote for liars also, who've promised a lot of things. Correct. I agree, the aspirational India, jobs, farmers' distress, women's issues will be on the forefront. You can probably say that you are hiding behind, trying to build up a brand Modi because Yogi Adityanath's government is unraveling. There's no governance in UP. So it's an honest admission from the BJP. That's why they're probably losing their cool, because UP is going to decide the next prime minister, and the present prime minister also came to UP, became our brother, but didn't deliver anything, not even clean the Ganga. So promises will be recalled, and caste creed, yes, nobody is voting for caste creed because 2012, the BSP and the Samajwadi Party did well in urban voters, did well with the first time voters, and a lot of women. So this is not really.
जाइए और गंगा जी को देखिए, निर्मल हुई है.
अरे सर शर्म करिए. सर प्लीज शर्म करिए. आपने बजट भी नहीं खर्चा किया. अब आप हिस्ट्री होने वाले हैं. अब आप इतिहास होने वाले हैं. सर हिस्ट्री बनाएंगे नहीं, हिस्ट्री हो जाएंगे.
Okay, शिवम.
नहीं बिल्कुल.
All right, शिवम.
मैं तो पूरी समाजवादी पार्टी, बहुजन समाजवादी पार्टी, राहुल गांधी को भी, उनकी मदर को भी मैं इनवाइट करता हूं कि वो संगम पर आए, कुंभ में स्नान करें.
Okay, fine.
बड़ा पर्व है.
Shivam, I want to try and get to some numbers now.
All right. We don't need your invitation. You are not doing a biometric there.
All right. Can I now try and get everyone to stick their necks out a little bit? Let's now come back to some data and some analysis. Shivam, help us, and based on all the calculations, and I'm not going to keep showing people all the numbers that you've got, your best sense, 18th of January, maybe about 100 days to go till counting, or give or take, maybe a little less than that. Your best guess right now, how is it going to stack up in UP? And I'll say, get everyone to predict a number. And we'll revisit it every month as we go forward, because UP obviously certainly the most
Well, yes, with the caveat that things could change a lot. I think BJP is going to win between 20 and 35 seats. The analysis you showed correctly, as you said, was based on the Modi wave of 2014, which largely stuck in 2017. With that analysis, BJP is getting 35, NDA 37 seats. So now if the Modi wave is diminishing, then they could come down. The upper limit for BJP is 35, 37, because I think the BSP SP vote transfer is happening quite beautifully.
Upper limit is 35, and you are saying it could go all the way down to 25.
25 is a reasonable number.
That's a 50-seat drop in UP, if that particular number is correct. And that would be obviously a rather.
But
nice
as of now, if there's a big Modi wave, a big.
So I'm getting everyone to say as of now.
Yeah.
Shaina, do you want to play forecaster for us right now? As of now, how are things looking for you in UP? We heard Mr. Nadda saying a day or two back he thinks the BJP is heading for 74 seats in UP. Is that a realistic possibility, given everything that's happening right now?
I'm not a psephologist and I'm not a political analyst, and I don't want to resort to any kind of commentary on a hypothetical situation. All I can say, based on our performance, the voter will come out and repose mandate for Prime Minister Modi, because they do realize that here is an honest, hard-working Prime Minister who has delivered on ground. And having said that, I'm hopeful that people will not fall into the trap of some kind of a khichdi sarkar, where you're not even sure of who believes what, whose vision plan is what. It is nothing but an opportunistic alliance. So I am hopeful that we will be able to retain our members of parliament.
All right, Mr. Bhadoria, your prediction for the way UP is. This is the 18th of January prediction. We'll keep updating it every month as we go forward. Your best sense of how you think UP is going to pan out in 2019 elections?
See, with the further marginalization of the peasants and the poor in Uttar Pradesh after the kind of Notbandi and the after effects, and also the GDP going down in the entire country and its greater effect on Uttar Pradesh, I think as of now, as your person is saying about 25 seats,
का दर्द मुझे पता है, भारतीय जनता
Mr.
पार्टी
IP
जानती है.
I think we just come to you.
सैकड़ों करोड़ रुपए.
We'll just come to you, sir, in a minute. Mr. Bhadoria,
I
finish.
think the 74 seats that he's counting is across India. In UP, they will be completely decimated. They will be finding it very difficult to even open an account in UP.
Wow. So 0. That's the BSP prediction for the BJP in UP. I'm going to come to Mr. IP Singh's prediction. Joey J, you want to, I mean, would you agree with, do you think Mr. Bhadoria is perhaps being a little over?
Because BSP already 0 पर आउट हुई थी, इसलिए इन्हें 0 याद है. बार-बार 0 का जिक्र करते हैं भदौरिया साहब.
And strongly second. And the other
बार
thing
आप
is,
होंगे, इस बार आप निश्चित रहिए, आप होंगे 0 पर.
Joey J, your prediction.
That's okay, Mr. IP Singh, don't lose cool.
चलिए मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने देखिए. बहुत अच्छी बात है, मायावती जी को भी देखना चाहिए. आप भी देखिए, सब लोग मिलकर देखिए.
We like khichdi. A well-cooked khichdi is a good recipe to eat. Well prepared one, and I second Mr. Bhadoria.
Okay, so you're also saying that the BJP is down to 0 in UP, which will surprise many people. Okay, Mr. Khan, like how do you think it's going to stack up? I mean, okay, forget about the BJP. How many do you think the Congress is going to end up getting in UP?
Well, I think we'll definitely do better than we did in 2009 when we had 21
seats. That was 20 seats. That's
yes,
a
absolutely.
bit optimistic,
21,
isn't it?
21. And no matter, you know, these Khan market assessments aside, I do believe that the ground will throw up a very different reality. I also want to say one thing. I've been debating BJP spokespersons for 2 years now. They say 3 things. First, मुद्रा लोन दिया, किसानों को नीम कोटेड यूरिया दिया, और अब आयुष्मान भारत की बातें करते हैं लोग. Let me tell you this. The fact that they resort to these arguments shows how much they have come away from the people. This arrogance that you see in every BJP spokesperson is what has turned the people away from them. आप सत्ता में इतने सत्ता के नशा इतना बुरा चढ़ा आप लोगों को कि जनता से ही दूर हो गए, and that will be reflected in the result.
एक शब्द बताइए, हम दो लोग बैठे हुए, एक शब्द आया हो. हम लोगों ने सिर्फ सतर्क किया है और पीछे जो हुआ वो बताया है.
Okay.
इस तरह के झूठे आरोप बीजेपी के ऊपर लगाना बंद करिए.
Okay, Shivam is trying to say something.
My prediction for the Congress will be in single digits. The max they can get is 5 to 7 seats.
Well, actually, his assessment is flawed because he says Western UP, you know, Samajwadi is not there, but Juhi ji is here and she'll correct him. In Western UP, they're second. Samajwadi is 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs.
Shaina, last word. Shaina, we're almost out of time. Last word on the show from you.
No, but that's part of Western UP.
No, but
so the data, I think, is
Shaina, you're seeing a couple of predictions.
You're reading a flawed.
Shaina, 50 seats down, 40 to 50 seats down is at least what some of the predictions are right now in the state of UP. Would that worry you a lot?
We are not agreeing.
No, I'm just trying to get Shaina to give the final word on this.
And fall prey to this propaganda. If the Congress party is so confident as is the Samajwadi Party and the SP, let me please tell you, I am more confident about the voter of this country and the voter in Uttar Pradesh. They don't want lawlessness, they don't want unholy alliances, and they don't want people who are desperate for lust for power and who have always been the greatest icons of corruption. People want stable, good governance, and they want strong leadership that is devoid of the basic practices of a corrupt functionary that we have seen in Uttar Pradesh in the past.
We are all in agreement.
All right, fine. For once, everyone agreed, but I think they're all talking about different parties. Okay, we're going to have to call it a truce on this show right now. UP obviously being as critical and as crucial as it is, we will keep returning to it on the show for the next 100 days repeatedly. Various predictions ranging from the BJP getting 0 to the BJP getting 74. Shivam saying on the basis of analysis, somewhere between 25 to 34. If that happens also, it is going to be a very sharp drop. UP, really interesting state. Keep your eye on it. Next week, perhaps we should take a look at another really interesting state, Maharashtra. We'll do that. We'll take a look at that state next week.